one red, pour out the Jameson for ancestors to swig.
You rescue me yet again. You put me first everywhere. You make me feel better than the mother dudes. You rescue me yet again. You put me first everywhere. You make me feel better than the mother dudes.
Thank you to the Black Fathers Initiative of Cleveland. Really appreciate the love. Make sure you guys click the link in the bio. Like, subscribe, you know what to do. So, we back again, Dr. Umar. And you know I'm a big Dr. Umar fan. You know what we do here on this website. Nothing but black empowerment, all black everything, black love, black relationships, black wealth, black everything. So, and I pretty much just review, you know, black interviews and black scholars, whatever you want to call it, activists. And just, you know, give my 2 cents or a small critique on, you know, what's being talked about. Now, of course, this is Dr. Umar talking about feminism again, and I think that, you know, this is a topic that everybody needs to listen to. Everybody needs to understand and respect, as well as we may even need to shift the conversation to something else because we need to be compensated for a lot of the things that, you know, this country has done. A lot of different ways they've tricked us, said they were going to give us something and ended up giving it to everybody. So these are the type of things that Dr. Umar talks about. And in this discussion, he's actually talking about the LGBTQ and talking about feminism. So let's get into it.
I am talking about three women. I am talking about three women that started this movement.
Out against white supremacy.
They do.
And the reason LBGT does not, I'm not talking about you as an individual, but the reason why the LBGT movement does not speak out against white supremacy.
Because I didn't understand. I said, I'm the most likable guy. How could you not like me? What's wrong with these black feminists? I support the black woman. Are you crazy? When I'm fighting in the schools, I'm helping single moms most of the time. What's going on? Then I figured it out. Somebody sent me their pictures. The top 5 feminists. And guess what they all had in common? They was all ugly.
That's cold, buddy.
He said it out loud.
I will get it. He bold with his arrogance.
It's all ugly, and I said, I see what this is. In psychology, there's something called transference and projection. It's when you're really, you know, you really desire something that you can't have, and it makes you mad, so you project it onto something else. Because I'm cute, they mad I'm
You ain't that cute.
Leave me alone. My God. I mean, my goodness, I'm not even famous yet, man. I mean, my goodness, they come and wake up. Dr. Umar, they keep picking with me, y'all. I remember my book came out, and for those of y'all who don't have my book, Psychoacademic Holocaust, make sure you get a copy tonight. It's available on my table out that door. I'll sign it for you. You must read it if you're raising a black child, especially a boy. You must read it. I teach feminism so that we're all crystal clear on where I stand. Yes, it is true. I do not support it. Yes, it is true. I do not condone it. But it is absolutely false if anyone says that Dr. Umar Johnson hates any of my brothers and sisters who practice a traditional lifestyle. A non-traditional form of marriage. Okay? In my school, there will be none of that type of energy. I don't believe it's in the best interests of African people. And I understand that although you might be gay or lesbian, I understand that there's certain forces within the United States government, there's certain forces within European society that are pushing and propagating that particular lifestyle because they recognize the threat it poses to the continuation of African life, because 2 men cannot make a child and 2 women cannot make a child. Because I disagree with the way you live doesn't mean I hate you. Of course not. Does it mean I want to see harm come to you? Of course not. You catch the same type of racism we catch whether you gay or not. But what I would argue is if you got an issue, if we disagree on some things in the black community, brothers and sisters, and I want my gay and lesbian brothers to hear me if any of them are here, if we disagree on something, you must still have enough political savvy not to let the European use our disagreement to start a civil war in the black community. We can have that conversation in private, but don't give them the leverage of trying to use you against me. This is the same argument I give to black women. Yes, black women have issues with black men, sister. It's true that we have sexism in the black community. That's true, brothers. Let's be honest, whether it's the church or the revolutionary group, we normally only want the black women for three things: taking notes, baking food, and making cookies. And you know what cookies are, okay? And I think a black woman has more to offer than just those three things. So brothers, yes, we can be sexist against our women. Ain't no issue with that. And black women, we got to deal with that. But that don't mean you go and join the white woman's lib movement. The white woman don't care about you either, black woman. She's only using you for your numerical strength. Okay? When that white woman's lid popped off in the early 1900s, that white woman got in black women's heads and made the black woman think that the black man was her problem. Let's take a look at that. I understood why the white woman fought the white man. I understood it. You know why? The white man controlled if she could work. He controlled if she could leave the house. He controlled whether she could wear pants or not. He said your job is to raise the kids and nothing else. He controlled her. Now, black woman, let me ask you a question. What black man gonna stop your ass from getting a job? Let me ask you. Since when have we ever controlled how you dress? Okay? Black man can keep no black woman in no house. Y'all don't listen to us. So how you gonna pop up talking about I'm fighting for women's rights with the white woman? The white man controls her. We've never controlled you guys. No. So if there's a black male-female issue, talk about it in-house. Yeah. If there's a black gay heterosexual issue, let's talk about it in-house. But don't...
Yo, I never thought about that. I had to stop that. I hope people recognize what he just said. I never really even thought about how white men treat white women and how black men treat black women. We get everything that we know of from Western civilization. So even the thought of, even me as a black man having the thought of a wife coming home and cooking and taking care of the kids and cleaning, that's a westernized mentality, okay? Because I don't know my African heritage, I don't know my African history, I don't know my African civilization because they stripped that shit from us. But I'm quite sure in Africa, it wasn't like that. Our mentality wasn't that of the European. Our mentality was probably, like he said, more so a black woman can do what she wants because a black woman knows what it is that she needs to do. Like, I don't think too many when I think about it, when you think about African and African cultures and tribes and things of that nature, I just don't think about, I just don't think about controlling, like men controlling women. So I think he made a great point there when he says that, like, black women jumped into a movement that really you guys didn't have anything to do with, and in so many words, we wasn't even doing anything to you guys. Like, we don't control you, we let you guys do. I'm pretty sure most black men let their wife do whatever she wanted to do as long as it was within the means of respecting the marriage. So that's pretty deep, man. I never thought about that.
Let your oppressor use you as a weapon against the others. No matter how much I disagree with things that certain black folk do, I will never let white folks try to use me against them. I think President Obama is one of the greatest sellouts we had in my lifetime. But white folks, even with that being said, no white person could come to me and try to get me to assassinate President Obama's character. You understand? For the sake of the Republicans and for the sake of the Tea Party. You can't use me against my own, even if his ass is trifling. Are y'all following me? And so we got to make sure we exercise that principle. Because white folks love to play these games. Well, what?
And I'm sorry I'm stopping again. This is just my something that I've learned, or something that I've realized after Obama is gone. Now, you hear a lot about Obama And I still feel like he was a great president, of course, but, you know, he definitely had some issues. But once again, Obama was raised by a white mother. And Dr. Cress Wessling, one of the videos that I have up, she literally talks about when a biracial child is born and how the white mother is to pretty much raise that child white. You know what I mean? Even though he's black. So that's kind of, when I think about Obama now, after, you know, hearing that, I kind of have more of an understanding of not just why maybe he didn't do so much for black people, but also why he was able to become president. Because I don't think if he had 2 black parents, he would have been president. This is me. That's just my personal opinion.
Think about Umar Johnson. Okay, I might not agree with everything my brother said, but that's my brother. And at the end of the day, if a war popped off, he would have my back before you, white man, so we can have that conversation. Okay? And we got to make sure we exercise that, because nobody else puts their internal racial business on Front Street but black folks. Yeah. Do you realize that there's different types of Jews in America? And they don't really like each other? I know, because I went to school with them. I learned from them that they don't like each other. Can't stand each other. But when it comes to dominating that economy, all that petty difference, put that to the side. We're going to talk about the money right now. Are y'all following me? Europeans don't all like each other. I know, because I work with them. Irish think they better than Italians. Italians think